Okay, we are going to discuss about types of paragraphs and the paragraph construction. I'm going to divide this explanation into two videos. Perhaps a long time ago, when you were in senior high school, you already learned kinds of paragraphs. There are actually in total 13 kinds of paragraphs from descriptive to spoof. But mainly, to make it easier, we can actually identify four big kinds of paragraph: narrative, argumentative, expository, and descriptive. So why it is important for us? Why is it important for us to being able to identify paragraphs? By identifying paragraphs, one can either anticipate what will come in the text or imitate the patterns of paragraph for his own writing. As a reader, we can anticipate the topic. As a writer, we can follow the pattern and implement it in our own writing. Of course, every paragraph has its own pattern. Right then. Now, the first the first type of paragraph is narrative. Whenever you sense a sense of story inside a paragraph, it should be a narrative paragraph. But most of the time, narrative paragraph is indicated by the use of pronouns like me and old facing body here, and the use of past form of a verb. Most of the verb, or even all of the verbs used in these paragraphs are past form. Yeah, the second paragraph. I mean the second form of verbs. Okay, so whenever you sense a sense of a story inside a paragraph, it must be a narrative paragraph. It's easy for us. Yeah, narrative is a story paragraph, and then uh, the second type of paragraph is argumentative paragraph. Argumentative paragraph is a kind of paragraph that tries to persuade the reader to believe in the writer's opinion. Whether the reader like it or not, the reader should agree with the writer's opinion. So this paragraph is uh, uh, is doing an effort to convince the reader to believe in the writer's opinion. If you look at the end, the last part of the paragraph, yeah, the last part of the paragraph is that the sentence is convincing the readers that the idea should stand. And other indication that this paragraph is an argumentative one is that inside the paragraph there are some data provided by the by the writer in order to support his idea, so that at the end of the reading, the reader most likely to believe in the writer's idea. The third form of the paragraph is expository. Different from argumentative one, expository is just exposing facts and reality to the reader, but the difference is um, the writer must be objective. There is no any efforts of the writer to persuade the reader. So the decision of the reader is up to the readers themselves. The writer only focus on providing facts and example. Even though, for example, in this paragraph, the writer provide his own opinion, but this opinion doesn't persuade the reader to believe, doesn't force the reader to believe in his opinion. So expository is different from argumentative paragraphs. The last kind of paragraph is a descriptive paragraph. Descriptive one is only to describe a thing, someone, person in detail. So whenever you see a paragraph consists of simple present tense and many adjectives, it should be a descriptive paragraph. So at the end, to conclude this video, so what is important? What is the point behind knowing types of paragraphs? By anticipating the coming paragraphs, we can read faster and we can write better. All right, we can read faster and we can write better. One Two of the most intriguing paragraphs from these four kinds of paragraphs are argumentative and expository. Remember, you should be able to differentiate the difference between argumentative and expository. In argumentative, the writer tries to persuade the reader, but in expository, no persuasion, but only providing the information, as many information as possible to the reader. Thank you very much.